Also sponsored by Gill Street Sports Bar and Restaurant, which makes a donation to the General Redbird Scholarship Fund every time the Birds hit a 3-point basket. As the ball is controlled by who? It goes to the corner, out of bounds, off of... Oh, the officials look at one another, and Sean Lehigh says it is Illinois State's ball. There, he's off to a great start.
Yeah, he is. I thought usually they re-jump those, but the guy's trying to get in favor with the fans. That'll do it.
As the Redbirds come across the timeline looking for the first basket of the game, here's Osiris on the right wing. Now it comes to the left side to Rubin. Up top, Phillips against the zone, and we'll see the zone from Drake the entire game, most likely, as Phillips has it in the left corner. Out to Rubin in the left corner, out to Phillips, and a bad pass by Lloyd, intercepted by Weedle. The other way he goes, and the layup is good, and it's 2-0 Drake, and that's not a very good start to the ball game. Birds back in the front court. Here's Osiris. Up top to Rubin. Alex, the junior, out of suburban Minneapolis, deals it to the right wing. Here's Osiris, shovels it inside. Carmichael, a layup, he blew it. The tip, no, by Dienma, and the rebound for Drake's Templeton. And the Bulldogs come the other way. Vissler has it now on the right wing against the man-to-man. It's Carmichael on Templeton. That's a big matchup. Here's Young, guarded by Osiris. That's another big matchup as he misses his first shot, Young does. And after playing tough defense, rebounds the miss, comes the other way. Here it goes into the right corner. And it's Rubin out to Phillips. Lloyd looks it over and hands it to Eldridge. Now back to Phillips in the left corner. Looks down the baseline, can't get it to Dienma. They have not been able to get it inside, except that one time to Carmichael, as Osiris pedals it back to Rubin, 12 to shoot. Here's Phillips. There's the lob into Dienma, who goes to the goal, double-teamed. He jump hooks it, not good. Rebound. Carmichael goes up, gets it blocked, and the rebound off the block by Van Diest, taken by Young. Drake comes the other way. Still 2-0 Bulldogs. Vissler with it up top. Moves it back to Templeton on the left side. Now right side Vissler, the native of Luxembourg. Tosses it into the freshman. Here's Van Diest against Dienma. He turns, spins, and travels. And that reminds us of the folks at Susie Davis Travel. Contact them today to find out more about their exclusive Direct to the Wilderness Princess Cruise Tours to Alaska next summer, or visit online at SUZIDavis.com.
Yeah, Tony Lewis in, Carmichael out. Carmichael lost the handle on a couple of easy chances inside, and that'll get him a little bench time, and Tony Lewis will go to work.
Our first substitution brought to you by Extreme Nissan. Shift gears and test drive an all-new Nissan at Extreme Nissan in Bloomington. Here's Lewis in the right corner. And now Rubin has it to Osiris. Down the baseline he goes. Jump stop and a pass to Lewis. 15-foot shot, no. And the rebound, Templeton, as he gets it off to Vissler. Bill Eady in the game now for Drake, as they've made their first substitution. Here's Templeton to the wing. Also in for them, Ben Simons, the true freshman from Cadillac, Michigan. Here's Vissler with it. 20 to shoot for the Bulldogs, who still lead 2-0. Birds haven't scored here in the first 2.5 minutes as Vissler spins to the corner. Wide open three, and it's missed by Templeton, and the rebound for Osiris. Eldridge comes the other way and finds Phillips on the right wing. Lloyd, the lob, Rubin in the corner, fires and misses, and the rebound taken away from Tony Lewis by Vissler. Vissler flies into the front court and spins it to Young. Now up top, Vissler, a long three is good, and it's 5-0 Drake. Vissler well outside the arc. That was about a 24-footer or so. And the Redbirds still looking for their first basket here, more than 3 minutes in, have the ball in the front court. Phillips to the left side to Rubin. Now Lewis in the deep left corner. Tony dribbles out and pedals it to Lloyd. Here's Osiris. The lob into Dienma, and as he gets it, the whistle blows. They were converging on him, the defenders were. There were 3 of them around him. One of them fouled him. That's Bill Eady, E-A-D-D-Y, a senior out of Ypsilanti, Michigan, whose dad played at Auburn. Now Weedle back in. Vissler sits down for Drake. And we see Aaron Hawley in for Drake. Quick pass. Oh, and a shot hits the top of the board. Not good. Rebound Lewis, but he lost it. Picked away by Weedle, who comes the other way. 5-0 Drake, and a 3 for Young is short, and the rebound tracked down by Lloyd Phillips. Phillips now. Ahead it goes to his pass in the corner. Rubin a 3. Yeah. Birds are on the board. took them almost 4 minutes. Alex Rubin scores the goal. It's 5-3 Drake. Simons with it now on the right wing for the Bulldogs. Aaron Hawley, another true freshman, into the game just a moment ago. Gets it back to Josh Young. Right of the lane drive by Young. And now he pedals it up top. Uhlenhop just came in, and he nails a three. Reese Uhlenhop, a freshman from Urbandale, Iowa, suburb of Des Moines, makes it 8-3. Drake back up by 5. Drake liberally substituting here at the beginning of the game. Lewis with it at the left wing. Phillips around the horn to Rubin. Cross-court pass. Here's O. His three. That's good. Osiris, who did not hit a field goal in the Indiana State game, scores his first field goal in a week, and puts the Birds within 2 again. It's 8-6 in favor of Drake. Both of the Redbird baskets from outside the arc. Here's Young driving, shooting it in. Acrobatic shot as he went to the floor, shooting it from about the hip level, off the glass, right to the basket and through, and it's 10-6 Bulldogs. Young's first basket. Eldridge at the other end for the Birds. Here's Phillips, cross-court pass. Lewis outside the arc, dribbles inside, finds Osiris, then the pass out of bounds. It's off of Drake, and it belongs to Illinois State as we get to our first official timeout of this game. We're 5 minutes and 5 seconds in, and the Redbirds trail the Bulldogs 10-6 as we're back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
For the best place in town to watch the NFL ticket, it's Cheeks Bar and Grill in the Towanda Plaza. Whether you want the Colts to stampede or you're hoping for the Saints to come marching in, you can catch it all at Cheeks. They offer 13 screens to view your favorite team, with 4 facing the outdoor heated beer garden. With awesome appetizers and great sandwiches like the Cheeks Special, you won't leave hungry. Cheeks is the place to be for the big game. So call your buddies and head over to Cheeks Bar and Grill in the Towanda Plaza. Your ticket to a good time.
Is your landscaping truly the ugliest in the Bloomington Normal area?
Oh.
Then you're in luck. Bellows Landscaping is looking for the ugliest front yard landscaping in McLean County and will reward you with $2,500 worth of landscaping. Mulcher, rock, plants, edging. Bellows wants to show off what they can do with even the worst landscaping nightmare. For all the details, go to bellowslandscaping.com, fill out the registration form, and attach a picture. Bellows Landscaping, 827-LAND. That's 827-5263.
This is Illinois State head women's basketball coach Robin Pinskin, and this is your voice for the Redbirds, 1230 WJDC. Go you Redbirds.
Birds down 10-6. The Redbird former player who serves as the ambassador for this home game, Lou Stefanovic, the great player out of Merrillville, Indiana, who is part of those 3 NCAA tournament teams in the early 80s, 83, 84, 85. Let's head to Bruce Evans, our sideline reporter. What do you got, Bruce?
Well, guys, a lot of discussion in the huddle about 2 things. Offensively, Birds think that they can do something in the middle of that zone defense and then get some open looks. Defensively, they're talking to Tony Lewis. You know, when Drake went to the bench, they brought in 6'8", 6'8" freshmen. Really changed things up defensively for the Birds. Unfortunately, they can all shoot from three-point lane. Right now, there's a lot of discussion on putting a lot more pressure on the ball, guys.
As the Redbirds come out of there with still Lewis, Odiakosa, Rubin, Eldridge, and Phillips.
Dick, what is your favorite Lou Stefanovic memory?
Well, I suppose that shot against Alabama in the NCAA tourney, but there are a lot of them. He was so fun to watch.
You know, he had a little nasty in him, too. I should say a little nasty.
Yeah.
He was 6'8", about 240, but he was a lot of fun to watch, and looks like he's still in pretty good shape.
He does. Very nice man, Lou Stefanovic.
Thank goodness.
Back, yeah, right. Birds have put it in play down low to Dima. Backs in on Van Diest. Turnaround jump hook. No. And Lewis had the rebound but lost it out of bounds. It belongs to Drake. Boy, Tony's had his hands on about 3 balls that he hasn't been able to corral so far.
It must be the position, because Carmichael started the game the exact same way. Had 2 layups and mishandled both.
As Bissler brings it across the timeline for Drake, here's Van Diest with it. Hands it off to Frank Bissler, the native of Luxembourg. Birds trail 10-6 here. 5.5 minutes into this one. Here's Templeton, guarded now by Osiris as it comes out to Bissler. Tony Young is on the, Josh Young is on the bench, and so Osiris has Templeton. Inside, here's Hawley, 5 to shoot, now further in, and a runner by Weedle is good. Weedle flashing into the lane, getting the pass from Hawley and putting it up in one motion and scoring the goal with 2 seconds on the shot clock. and the Birds are down by 6 now. Biggest lead of the game for Drake. It's 12-6 Bulldogs. Inside Dienma, layup, no, but he's fouled on his way to the goal, and Odiakosa will go to the free throw line, where he has made, I believe it's his last 10. He missed one of his first, he made one of his first 3 at Indiana State and finished 11 for 13. He made his last 10 free throws Wednesday night, and so he'll go for his 11th in a row here as he shoots 2.
Putting a lot of pressure on him.
Well,
talking it up.
There's always a lot of pressure on him. He missed the free throw.
I thought we talked about that.
I
My
said
guy's shooting free throws, Dick. Just say Dienma's going to the line, shooting 68%.
I'm an information guy, Mike. That's what they pay me to do.
Yeah, but you're locking my guy up.
I just have the feeling he's not listening, but I don't know that for sure.
Your track record would
Next one is coming up, and it's
go.
not good. And the rebound produces a whistle as Osiris goes down.
Got hit in the nose.
And has his face on the floor. Apparently got popped pretty good as he is slow in getting up.
It's one of the few parts of his body that probably doesn't hurt is his nose. Now you can add that to his list.
Yeah, he's up and okay. No blood, I guess, so he will be able to stay in the game.
Well, his buddy, Tony Lewis, looked at him. He said, I think you're all right. Tony probably wouldn't be a real good medic because he's a little mean, and he thought, come on, you're not all right. Your nose is still on there. Play on.
A medic can't be mean?
Most of them aren't. I hope not. The ones that are working on me, I hope not.
Vissler moves to the right for Drake. They have the ball now, plus a 6-point lead. Josh Young on the left wing, double team for a moment, finds Vissler, open 3, it's no good, and the rebound, good one by Dienma. Outlet to Phillips. Here's Lloyd. Deals it up high. Oh, a long 3 is way off to the right, and the rebound taken by Josh Young, who comes the other way for Drake. 12-6, Bulldogs leading here in the early going. Birds have trouble putting the ball in the goal. They have 6 points in 6 minutes as the runner by Vissler is no good, and the rebound, Tony Lewis. Vissler had that one on the front of the rim, but it wouldn't crawl over for him, and the Birds back in the front court, down 12-6. Phillips up top to Lewis. Inside, Dienma goes to the goal, and a runner, nobody's drawn another foul. It's on Van Diest. It was on the shot. And to the free throw line again goes Dienma Odiakosa.
Yeah, Diest with 2 fouls early. He's really the only big man strong enough and tall enough, I think, to go against Dienma. So if he gets into foul trouble, which he quickly is, it'll probably be one of the big freshmen on him.
Well, here comes the other guy who has a chance, at least has the size to match up with Dienma. 6'8", 230-pound freshman from Urbandale, Iowa, Reese Uhlenhop, who was in there briefly a little bit earlier. Dienma's missed his 3rd free throw in a row, and now he'll get one more opportunity as Uhlenhop is in there, and with those 2 fouls, Van Diest goes to the bench. Meanwhile, Justin Clark replaces Alex Rubin for the Redbirds, and Jackie Carmichael is about to get back in as well as Dienma's free throw is good. There's his first point of the game. The Redbirds now down 5 at 12-7 as Dienma Odiakosa is out with Jackie's re-entrance into the game. As Vissler now is across the timeline. Moves to the left and pedals it to the right wing. Here's Young down the lane, flips it to the corner, open 3, Weedle got it. Ryan Weedle, the transfer from Arkansas State, has his second basket, 15-7, Birds down 8. Biggest deficit of the game for Illinois State is off the dribble. Shoots it, gets his own rebound, lays it up, missed that, and the rebound off that miss taken by Josh Young. Young slides across the timeline. Now back to Vissler, up top, Templeton. Here's Weedle, guarded by Justin Clark. As the baseline drive and the runner, good. Weedle heating up here. He now has 7 points, and the Drake lead is up to 10, and a timeout called by Tim Jankovic as a slow start here for the Redbirds has been down by the score of 17-7. This 30-second timeout is brought to you by Parkway Auto Laundry. Take a 10-minute timeout and have your vehicle cleaned at Parkway Auto Laundry. Let's get the latest now on the Missouri Valley Conference scoreboard as we go to our studio host. Here again is Zach Parcell.
Well, guys, it's a final now. Number 22, Northern Iowa holds on for a 55-52 win over Southern at home. That game was tied at 18 at the half, but Northern Iowa holds on for a 55-52 win at home. Indiana State leads Wichita State 17-6 with 12 minutes left to play in the first, and Missouri State leads Creighton 14-10 with 12 minutes left to play in the first half as well. Guys?
How about those Panthers? They find a way to get it done,
I
right?
hope they keep winning all the way to St. Louis. I'm pulling for them every game.
The Redbirds should be pulling for them because they, of course, enhance the possibility that 2 teams from the league will get in if they keep winning. And they're playing against teams, everybody in the league, except for Evansville, that the Redbirds are battling for positioning against for that tournament. As Jackie Carmichael gets it inside and turns and jump hooks it in. And the Redbirds now back to within 8 at 17-9. Carmichael's first basket. Here comes Visler. Left of center. Pedals it now to Templeton. On the right wing, Josh Young, who could become Drake's all-time leading scorer. If he gets 15 points in this game, he will be just that. He comes to the top of the circle, and he's hedged by Carmichael and fouled by Jackie with 12 seconds on the shot clock. First foul on Jackie, and it's the first foul against the Redbirds, as we have an official timeout called with 11:30 left to go. 17-9 now. Drake has the 8-point lead over the Redbirds here at Redbird Arena, as we're back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
Need a new roof? Want to remodel or need any home improvement project? There's only one name to remember, Nordine. Not Bean, Queen, Green, or Clean, Nordine. Want to update your old bathroom? Remember Nordine, not caffeine, obscene, trampoline, or 18. Nordine. If your roof needs to be replaced, don't call Christine, Maureen, Kathleen, or Eileen. Call Nordine. If you need new windows, it won't help to think of a tangerine, submarine, Halloween, or your spleen. Think of Nordine. Call 888-4662. That's 888-4662 or NordineRemodeling.com. Nordine does roofs, kitchens, baths, basements, windows, siding, sunrooms, and roofs. So don't go to CaffeineRemodeling.com, not 16Remodeling.com, not MachineRemodeling.com. Go to NordineRemodeling.com or call 888-4662. That's 888-4662. Ask for George.
Join me, Ron Ross, for information, trivia, interesting talk, and more late mornings on McLean County Station for the Illinois State Redbirds, 1230 WJBC.
17-9, the Drake Bulldogs on top. They have led all the way in this game. Their biggest lead is 10. 9 points for Ryan Weedle, who's 4 for 4 overall, 1 for 1 from 3. New player in the league, Mike, transfer from Arkansas State. He played well against the Birds in Des Moines.
Yeah, really can shoot the ball well, and a very clever player, very smart player, really understands the game. I like him.
Let's head over to our Central Illinois Regional Airport sideline microphone. Here again is Bruce Evans right at the Redbird bench.
Well, guys, you're talking about the leading scorer, and yet he's not really making any baskets without the help of his teammates. Kind of what the discussion was in the huddle. Need much more pressure on the basketball. Right now, Drake is getting the ball wherever they want it, whenever they want it. Birds say they have to change that. Guys?
Redbird basketball is brought to you in part by the folks at Susie Davis Travel. Contact them today to find out more about their exclusive nonstop winter departures from Central Illinois. Drake has put it in play. Weedle does so to Visler. The others are Templeton, Uhlenhoff, and Young for the Bulldogs. Same people who were there before the timeout. And the Redbirds also have made no changes as Young has it, spins it back to Templeton on the left side. He gives up the dribble. Now Uhlenhoff, who made a three earlier, fakes the three and deals it up top to Young. 15 to shoot for the Bulldogs. Left side Templeton, and he traveled with it. Templeton wasn't sure whether he was going to pass it or drive, and he was kind of caught in between.
And Tony Lewis is doing a nice job with him, playing very physical with Templeton, and I'm not so sure Templeton likes that. Maybe it's taking him a little bit out of his game. We'll have to watch over the next couple of minutes.
Lloyd Phillips across the timeline. Here's Osiris on the right wing. Up high, Lewis. Left side, Clark. Now inside, Carmichael turns. 12-footer, no. It's a little short. Rebound, Visler. And Drake back into the front court. Visler all the way. Spins it to Uhlenhoff, and he gets it blocked by Clark, who hits the end line with the ball. And so it still belongs to Drake. Good play by Justin Clark, but he couldn't keep the ball inbounds.
And I think the fans at that end, Dick, maybe wanted to travel, but wasn't the call.
As the Bulldogs will put it in play, they do have a fresh 35 seconds. Uhlenhoff out now. Bill Eady in with Dima on the bench. They can afford to go a little smaller. As Visler puts it in play, looks to, and lobs it up to Young. It's tipped by Osiris, who dives to save it in, but Young does get it. Great effort by O. Here's the drive by Weedle. Back out. Long one. Templeton is good from way outside. That's a 26-footer, and it's 20-9. Drake has its biggest lead of 11. Templeton can shoot the ball. That's his first basket of the game. Lewis to Phillips in the corner. Osiris, a baseline drive and a layup. Good. Has his second basket of the contest. And it's 20-11. Redbirds down 9 at the other end. Young misses a 3. The rebound. Osiris comes back the other way. He looks it over and now drives to the goal. And as he does, the whistle blows and a foul is called against Drake as Osiris forces that again. Vissler, the one who commits the foul.
Boy, the last two possessions, there's the old Osiris fire coming back. Very, very nice drive.
It looked very good. Something we haven't seen much of here lately, as Kellen Thornton is in the game for the first time for the Redbirds. So is Austin Hill, and Dinma Odiakosa comes back for Illinois State. So 3 fresh players in for Tim Jankovic, as the Birds here will put it in play after the foul on Vissler, which is his first and the team's 4th. Now Hawley, a freshman who we saw earlier, replaces Vissler after he picks up that first foul. Hawley is from Rogers, Arkansas, 6'8", 191. A slender guy. Thornton with it to Clark in the corner. It goes to Phillips. Up top, here's Kellen. Fakes the pass inside, instead goes to Austin Hill. And now around the horn, back to Phillips on the right wing. Penetrates with a dribble. The layup good. Great take to the goal by Lloyd Phillips. His first basket. Birds have scored the last 2 baskets. They're within 7. Josh Young up on top. Right wing Templeton. And back up top to Josh Young. Here's Hawley with it. The freshman looks inside, can't get it to Templeton. Instead to Young on the right wing. 18 to shoot as Young is fouled. Dinma may have gotten him trying to help defensively. He did. It's his first, the team's second. Bulldogs get a fresh 35 as they inbound.
Boy, Drake really does a nice job, Dick, of spreading the floor and really putting the pressure on your man-to-man defense. They really spread the floor, and look, the gaps are very big, and that's what opens up the opportunities for the dribble drives.
Weedle puts it in play to Josh Young. Bounce past Aaron Hawley, and now Weedle on the left wing inside Templeton at the left baseline against Clark. Turns, loses the ball, but that's because, says lead official Don Daly, he was fouled. Dave Drucker and Daly conferring about who committed the foul, but it definitely was Justin Clark. His first, team's third. It was on the shot, and so Templeton gets to the line. Shoots a pair. He is a 78%er as he nails the first one. That's the first free throw attempt of the game for Drake. One of your keys, Mike, was to keep the Bulldogs off the line.
Yep, we've done well so far. We've been to the line 4 times. Dinma's been there. Has only converted 1 time.
And as Templeton makes the second one, they've been there half as many times as the Birds, but have twice as many free throw successes, and they lead 22-13. Phillips across the timeline against some pressure to Thornton. Birds now in the front court. Here's Lloyd to the left wing. Justin Clark up top to Thornton. Back to Justin. The freshman out of Independence, Missouri. Drives to the baseline. A step on Templeton. He shoots off the dribble, misses it, and the rebound for Kellen. 10-footer yet. Thornton grabbed the loose ball and put it right in the goal. His first basket. Birds back to within 7 at 22-15. And now, do we have a stoppage of play? Tim Jankovic sure thought so. He was ready to execute a timeout. I guess he thought the Bulldogs had called one. We're not due an official's timeout. 8:48 left here in the first half. And a warning against the Bulldogs. I don't know why. Either they called the timeout or they didn't. What's the warning all about, I wonder? Let's check in with Bruce Evans. Bruce, what do you have?
Well, all I can say is the referee just warned Mark Phelps to keep inside the box, I think, and as opposed to give him the technical foul.
Here's Josh Young on the dribble on the right wing. Guarded by Austin Hill. Young continues the dribble, has to give it up. Here's Templeton, deals it outside to Hawley. Redbirds thought there was a travel there. Tim Jankovic is up talking about that, and now Weedle is fouled by Dinma, who came out the hedge, and he picks up his second foul, and both of them have been 16 feet or more from the basket. So that's not good. Odiakosa now will be forced to the bench as Jackie Carmichael is back in for Illinois State. Bill Eady and Josh Young go to the bench. Uhlenhop and Vissler back in for the Bulldogs, who lead 22-15.
I don't remember Drake substituting this much when we were in Des Moines. It's like a hockey team over there.
Well, I don't remember any team substituting this much. They've really been moving him in and out. Except maybe Creighton. Uhlenhop to Vissler. As they're down to 23 to shoot now. Here's Vissler spinning. Right wing past Templeton. Down low, Hawley. Guarded by Clark as he goes to work. A whistle, contact, and another foul against Justin Clark. That's 2 against him. And so 3 Redbird fouls on this trip down the floor for Drake. 2 on Clark, 1 on Odiakosa, and that's going to get Clark out of the game as Osiris, who's been getting his first rest of the contest, is forced back in. So Clark and Odiakosa, the 2 players for the Birds who are on the bench with 2 fouls. Seth Van Diest has 2 for Drake as the shot from the corner by Weedle is not good, and on the rebound we got a foul against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think they got Templeton on Kellen Thornton's back.
That's the first on him and the 5th on the Bulldogs, each team with 5 fouls, and now at 7:59 left in the first half, we get to our officials' timeout. Birds have trailed all the way. Right now they're down 22-15 as we're back with more after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
Hello, this is David Smith at Ron Smith Printing. On the 3rd of September 2009, Ron Smith Printing marked its 50th year of serving the graphics and printing needs of Central Illinois. Over the years, we have seen a lot of changes in the products we produce and the way we produce them. One thing that has not changed is the value we place on how our customers are treated. Whether your order is large or small, it gets the same dedicated service to see that it measures up to the expectations you have for the finished product. At Ron Smith Printing, we offer the highest quality full-color brochures, multi-page booklets, business cards, letterheads, and envelopes. We can also provide your company or organization with a full line of promotional products and advertising specialties to keep your business name and website in front of your customers. Call on us today. We're located at 2425 South Main Street in Bloomington.
Hey, Redbird fans, I'm R.C. McBride. Join us for a lot of information and fun every afternoon on the Voice of McLean County, 1230 WJBC and WJBC.com.
Redbird basketball is brought to you in part by Orthopedic and Sports Enhancement Center, your team leader for comprehensive sports medicine. Bulldogs have been up by as many as 10. Right now the lead is 7, 22-15 with a second less than 8 minutes to go here in the opening half. Let's head for our Central Illinois Regional Airport sideline microphone and Bruce Evans.
Well, guys, defensively, coaching staff wants the players to talk more, help each other out on all these picks that are happening by Drake. Offensively, like the way they're going inside, dropping it in there. Points in the paint. Maddie talked about that. Birds have got 6 in the last few moments, so that's going well. And Osiris Eldridge has taken off the pad on his right elbow. Remember, he dove near the Drake bench to try to save the basketball in. Kind of came down on that elbow. He's having a little trouble. He's got the nose, he's got the elbow so far in this ball game, guys. A little bit beat up.
But playing well here in the last couple of minutes after a tough start. He's 2 for 6 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, but he has 4 rebounds and an assist here in the first 12 minutes of the game. Birds have put it in play. Alex Rubin checked in during the timeout. Phillips is resting right now as Rubin, Osiris, Kellen Thornton, Jackie Carmichael, and Austin Hill are the Redbirds on the floor. Birds operate against that Drake zone. Here's Thornton. Picks it up and tried to throw it through a lot of traffic. It came right back to the Birds. They were lucky there. Eldridge has it now for the Redbirds with 12 to shoot. Cross-court pass, and Rubin a 3 is in and out, not good, but a whistle. And on the rebound effort, a foul has been called against the Birds. Jackie Carmichael picks up his second, pushing off to try to get the rebound off the missed 3 from Alex, which was rattling around the insides of the rim and popped out of there. So that'll get Carmichael out of the game, and Blake Mishler, the transfer from East Tennessee State, junior from Metamora, is in for the Redbirds. Mishler has played sparingly for the Birds this year, played extremely well in the game at Southern Illinois. Here's Weedle getting the pass at the left wing, driving on Rubin, the pass back out. Vissler open 3, missed it over Osiris, and a great rebound by Austin Hill, who comes the other way. Hill now in the front court. Puts on the break, spins it to Rubin in the left corner. Up top, Thornton. Now Hill gets it. Here's Osiris. He fires. It's good from 3. Osiris Eldridge has made his last 2 shots. Now has 8 points. The Birds within 4 at 22-18. Hawley with it for Drake. On the right wing, here's the spinning shot by Vissler, and he lays it up and in as he ducked under the block effort by Austin Hill. Great take to the goal by Frank Vissler. Bulldogs back to within 6 at 24-18. With it now is Hill. Up top, Rubin. Eldridge on the left wing. Osiris shoots off the dribble, and he missed that short. And the rebound knocked out of bounds. It's off of Drake, and it belongs to Illinois State as Osiris dove for that rebound and made it tough for Templeton, who couldn't come up with it. Ben Simons in now, and Templeton goes out. Simons will guard Osiris Eldridge. 6'8" freshman from Cadillac, Michigan. Birds have put it in play. They've got a fresh 35 seconds. Here's Austin Hill with the ball. Redbirds trail by 6 as the pass comes out to Rubin. Left side, Osiris, a 3, and it's no good. A little short. Rebound for who? Mishler battling for it, but Drake comes up with it. Simons ahead to Young. Josh Young moving toward the right, leaves it for Weedle. Inside it goes. Here's Hawley against Thornton. Shot fake. Now he goes up and shoots it way off. Good defense by Kellen. Rebound Eldridge ahead to Rubin. Back out to Hill. Long one. Good. Hill hits a 3. His first basket. Birds within 3. 24-21. Josh Young now for the Bulldogs. He fires, and it's good. He gets the 3 right back as the Birds gave him a little space, and he took advantage of it. His second basket. He has 5 points, and it's 27-21, Bulldogs by 6.
Well, Josh Young can pull the trigger from so far out. You really don't think he's going to shoot it, and before you know it, it's gone. Really a good outside shooter.
He has a quick trigger.
Yeah, very quick.
Thornton up top, Rubin on the left wing. Now back to Kellen at the top of the circle. Picks up his dribble and finds Austin Hill. Left of the lane drive. Austin to the goal. Layup. Yes. Count the goal. Weedle commits the foul. And a 3-point play opportunity for Austin Hill, who just hit a 3-point shot on the last Redbird trip down the floor.
You know, Austin doesn't always play that well, Dick, when he comes off the bench. But having him available makes us a much better team. The 3 or 4 games he's missed this year or just played pieces of because of injury, we've really struggled. He gives us a dimension that we don't have.
He goes to the line here to try to cut the lead back to 3 points as he looks to complete the 3-point play and does not. And on the rebound, a foul on Blake Mishler over the back trying to get the rebound. First on Blake, that's the 7th on the team, so free throws are coming here for the Bulldogs.
Didn't shove him that hard, did he?
It didn't look like he got much of him.
Mishler from the second slot came over the back of Templeton, who had very, very good position.
And Templeton, who made 2 free throws earlier, will shoot the 3rd and 4th free throws of the game for the Drake Bulldogs with 5:04 left here in the half. But that's 17 fouls against the Redbirds, 6 against Drake. As the senior Templeton fires it good. Out of Rapid City, South Dakota. Started his collegiate career at Cal Irvine, played 2 years there, then transferred to Drake. Last year at Drake, and now his final year with the Bulldogs. 28-23, Bulldogs by 5. He can elevate the lead back to 6 points. Templeton can, and he doesn't. He missed it. Thornton gets the rebound, and the Birds down 5 come into the front court. Here's Hill to Phillips, covered up by Weedle before he can get his 3-point shot away. Now Hill with it, right of center, back to Lloyd, left of the lane drive. His pass back out. Comes up top. Kellen an open 3. It's off. And the rebound, Mishler, who goes up and misses but draws the foul. Good job by Blake Mishler to get the offensive rebound, and he gets himself to the free throw line. As the foul is called on Josh Young, it's his first. Mishler, a left-hander out of Metamora, shoots the free throw good. His first point of this game, and the Redbirds back to within 4 as now Tony Lewis is in and Kellen Thornton sits down. How many free throws for Mishler this year?
2 for 3, now 3 for 4. So he's a solid 75% shooter from the line.
That's a nice soft shot.
Yep, trying to get to 80%, Dick, with this left-handed freebie.
And he rims that one, not good. Josh Young the rebound, and Osiris nearly had the steal, sneaking up from behind, but he knocked it out of play. And so Drake gets it back with the Birds down 4, 28-24, 4:40 left to go in the half. Birds have been down by as many as 10. They've never led here in this game. Vissler with it. Gets a step on Hill, who catches up. Now Vissler gets the return pass from Templeton, the native of Luxembourg. Continues the dribble, and 5 seconds is the call. Didn't get rid of it in time as Austin Hill played the nose-to-nose defense that forced that call. Great play by Austin.
Yeah, I think he could have called the 5 seconds, or he could have called the carry. Both happened at the same time, and Redbird ball.
Birds down 4 with the ball as they've moved it into the front court. Here's Osiris. Eldridge up top to Tony Lewis. Now right side, Austin Hill. Hill to Lewis. Here's Mishler. High post. Turns. Jump hook. No. And the rebound tip. Hill. No. Loose ball. Templeton comes up with it. Outlets it to Vissler. Vissler driving on the left side. Forced to give it up to Templeton on the right side. Right of the lane drive. And a runner is good. And a whistle. And a charge has been called as Mishler went down after the shot. The basket will count. But another foul against Templeton, and that's his second, and so that might be good news. But the basket does make it 30-24 in favor of Drake, as now we get to an official's timeout with 3:57 left to go in the first half. Bulldogs 30, Redbirds 24, as we're back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
This is J.D. He's been a rancher on the Fort Twig for 35 years. Now he works for Meyer.
All those years out on the range, I thought I'd learned a thing or two about what makes for the best cuts of meat. Then I ate a Meyer Prime Sirloin, and I learned I was wrong. Wrong like a steer with no horns. First bite, I knew I'd been running around with a bunch of city slickers playing pretend cowboy. But now that I'm at Meyer, I've seen the light.
Meyer, carrying nothing but the best cuts of meat for our customers. Never below choice. Unlike other stores, the Meyer way. Not just a better price, a better store.
Buying a new or used car can be nerve-wracking, but Extreme Motors takes the worry of buying a car right out of the equation. Drive Hyundais, Kias, and Nissan, and buy with confidence, because Extreme Motors offers lifetime warranties on all new and used vehicles. Extreme Motors, 2029 Ireland Grove Road, and 1608 South Morrissey in Bloomington. Or visit driveextreme.com.
Do you really want it? Do you really want it? Do you really want it? Go Extreme. Extreme is the one. Click, click, click. DriveExtreme.com.
Redbird basketball on the WJBC Country Financial Redbird Radio Network is brought to you by Country Financial. What's your idea of financial security?
30-24, Drake with the 4-point lead. The Redbirds 9 for 28 from the field. That's only 32%, while Drake is over 50, 11 out of 21. That fast stat brought to you by Sean Craig from First Midwest Securities, your retirement income specialist.
Well, Dick, as you well know, Drake won the first half when we were in Des Moines a couple of weeks ago, 35-15. We're playing better than that. Drake's playing very well, but hopefully we can have as solid a second half as we had in Des Moines. We're going to need it.
Let's head to our Central Illinois Regional Airport sideline microphone. Bruce Evans is right by the Redbird bench.
Well, Dick, your colleague Mike Matthews always says, or not always, but a lot of times says these last few minutes of the first half and the first few minutes of the second half are very key. I look at the stat sheet, and I don't see how the Birds are staying this close. I mean, Drake has played virtually a perfect first half. There's still 4 long minutes left to go here. I think it's key for the Birds to close out this second half and keep it close, guys.
As you well know, Dick, that's the most important 10 minutes of the game. The last 5 of the first 5 of the second. I'm glad Bruce pointed that out. Spot on, Bruce.
Well, the Redbirds have Blake Mishler back at the free throw line where he made 1 of 2. He did make 1 of 2 earlier, yeah. And he's got another opportunity here, this time the front end of the 1-and-1. It's good. That's his second point of this game. And the Redbirds back to within 5. One thing in the Birds' favor on the stat sheet is rebounding. They're up 18-15 in that department, and they've committed 1 fewer turnover than has Drake. Only 3 turnovers for the Birds so far in this game, as Mishler cashes in both free throws, and the Birds are within 4 as Visler is across the timeline, and Young now is fouled by Osiris, who came out going for the steal and couldn't quite get there in time. He bumped Young and inspired the call against him, his first. It'll put Young at the line, where he rarely misses. 74%, that's actually lower than he has had in past seasons. The native of Lawton, Oklahoma, shoots the free throw good. His 6th point. He's now 8 points shy of the all-time scoring leader at Drake. As he misses the second one, and the rebound, Austin Hill, so the Birds are down 5 as they come back the other way. 3:44 left in the half. Here's Phillips to Hill in the corner. Oh, a three. That's too strong. And the rebound, Lewis got there, tipped it, but out of bounds. Tony couldn't catch up with it as he tried to tip it to himself in the corner. Belongs to Drake. And Osiris now 3 for 10 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3. Visler across the timeline. Hedging is Mishler. That forces Visler to give it up. He almost stumbled out of bounds. And now there's Mishler hedging again on Young as the pass goes to Hawley in the lane, spinning 15-footer, tough shot, and he made it. First basket for Aaron Hawley. Drake up 7, 33-26, 3:10 left in the half. Phillips to the left wing to Hill. And now Lewis playing way up top. Has the ball back. Tony dribbles, spins, passes to Phillips, open in the corner, couldn't get the three away, and instead travels. So the Birds give it up on their 4th turnover of the game. And Hawley will put it in play for Drake. Visler now across the timeline. And a whistle. A stoppage of play, and away from the ball, a foul on Lloyd Phillips. First on Lloyd, called by Don Daly. It was well away from the ball, and I didn't see it, Mike.
I don't think you're alone. It's the crowd's kind of stunned by the call, as is the Illinois State bench.
The 9th team foul against the Birds. It is a 1-and-1 as Weedle misses it, and the rebound, Mishler pushed it over to Lewis, and so the Birds rebound another free throw miss by Drake. Bulldogs are 4 for 7 from the line. One of the top free throw shooting teams in the country, struggling in that regard here, is now a foul inside on Bill Eady. Will put Mishler back at the line. Blake Mishler is a foul magnet here in the first half of this game. He's already attempted 4 free throws, 2 more coming here on the second foul against Bill Eady, and the 9th on the Bulldogs. Here comes Uhlenhop back in the game. He'll replace Eady as Drake's post players are getting into foul trouble. Meanwhile, Dinma Odiakosa is on the bench for the Birds with 2 fouls, and that has not helped the cause, although Mishler has played well in his stead as Blake makes another free throw. 4 for 5 from the line for him, and the Redbird deficit is 6. He's shot twice as many free throws now in this game as he had all season, as he makes that one too, and he's 5 for 6 from the line and has the Birds back to within 5 at 33-28. 2.5 minutes play in the half. There's a loose ball. Steal by Lloyd, who comes the other way and gets it knocked out of bounds by Young. No, they say Lloyd is the one who knocked it out. Great play by Josh Young from behind as he reached in, got a little bit of it. Lloyd, in his effort to regain the handle, knocked it out. So the team's trade turnovers, and Drake is into the front court. Visler with it. Moves to the left and shovels it back to Josh Young. Young now deals it to Uhlenhop. 2 minutes left here in the opening half. Birds down 33-28. Here's Young's three over O. It's not good, and the rebound, Hill tipped it to himself. Good play by Austin. Hill down the middle, stumbles and throws it behind Osiris and out of play. The Birds turn it over again. Yeah, what I mentioned, they only have 3 turnovers. They've committed 3 more here, Mike, in about a minute.
Yeah, that seems to be Austin's Achilles heel as he just gets a little bit out of control. He needs to put the governor on it. We had the numbers. He should have just slowed down a little bit, and he would have had Osiris wide open in the corner.
Visler to Weedle on the left wing for Drake. Now 1 minute and 39 to play in the half. Visler dribbles away from Hill. Now he attacks with the dribble, and as he does, carrying the ball on the dribble is the call against Visler, or traveling, and that travel reminds us of the folks at Susie Davis Travel American Express, home of the family spring break cruise. Visit online at suzidavis.com.
Yeah, the new official, Dick, with the crisp haircut and the military look. He's really had a good first 19 minutes of this game.
As he made that call, here's Lewis inside, and he'll be called for a walk. And that's 4 turnovers, I believe, on 4 possessions for the Redbirds. As Drake calls for a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. And it's brought to you by O'Brien Mitsubishi. Visit today at Fort Jesse Road and Veterans Parkway in Normal, or at O'BrienTeamNormal.com.
It has not been a good stretch for the Redbirds. You said 4 straight turnovers, and Illinois State's just playing a little bit faster than they really should be or like to play. And give Drake credit for that. They've really done a nice job dictating tempo here in the first 19 minutes.
This will be the last home game for the men's team for a while, as the next one is on February 17th when Missouri State will be here. To purchase game tickets, call 309-438-8000 or visit GoRedbirds.com. The women are back here on Friday night against Wichita State. 7 o'clock start, 6:45 broadcast here on the Redbird Radio Network. An easy win for them earlier today on this court. They put away Indiana State 90-61 and strengthened their position as the Missouri Valley Conference leader. Here's Visler now in the front court against Austin Hill. Poked away by Austin, stolen by the Birds. Lewis to Hill, layup, yes! And the Redbirds are within 3, 33-30. Now a minute to go in the first half. Visler with the ball. Hawley up top against Tony Lewis, who's just scored that basket off the steal by Hill. Now Visler gets around Austin Hill in the corner. Open Young, his 3, not good. Rebound Lewis. 13-second difference between the clocks. Here's Osiris driving inside, but now he fades and fires it no good from 3, and the rebound Young. And Drake now with a 2-second difference between the clocks comes across the timeline. They may wait here for the end of the shot clock. Josh Young against Osiris. Pedals it off to Visler. 33-30 in favor of the Bulldogs. Deep in the corner is Hawley. Now to Weedle, double team, back to Hawley. 10-foot jumper, good from the baseline. That does give the Redbirds a chance here for the final score as they trail 35-30. Osiris into the front court, 5 seconds. Here's Lloyd. Right of the lane drive. Lloyd, a runner. It's no good at the horn, and the Redbirds go to the locker room down. And air. Don't let winter get the best of your heating system. Call Thrasher Heating and Air at 454-1611. Drake has the first possession of the second half entry pass sponsored by the Alamo 2, your official Redbird bookstore and Spread the Red headquarters. Drake has put it in play, and here's Visler across the timeline for the Bulldogs.
And Illinois State with 4 of the 5 original starters, only Tony Lewis for Carmichael.
As Van Diest, who missed quite a bit of the first half with foul trouble, gets the jumper from the left baseline and misses the 13-footer, and the rebound for the Redbirds, who are now in the front court. Tony Lewis got that rebound as here's the lob into Dienma. They quickly collapse on him. Out of the double team, he throws it away. Picked off by Weedle. Weedle against Phillips to the goal. Knocked out of bounds nicely by Lloyd. It'll be inbounded by Drake as Phillips denied the layup by Weedle off the turnover, the 8th of the game against the Birds.
Boy, and Van Diest is really being physical against Dienma. I'm a little surprised that he's pushing Dienma as far off the block every time as he has.
Visler to inbound it for the Bulldogs. Here goes the Young. Quick 18-footer is good. Josh Young scores the first basket of the second half, and his team now leads by 7, 37-30. Young with 8 points. Phillips across the timeline for the Birds. Right wing to Eldridge. Mike mentioned Lewis, who got it over to Rubin, is in the game here at the start of the second half. Now Rubin into Dienma, who jump hooks it in from about 3 feet away. First field goal of the game for Odiakosa. Birds back to within 5 at 37-32.
And I think Diest is trying to get him into a real physical style, and Van Diest can't hold up against him, and they've been using 3 or 4 guys against Dienma, so Dienma's got to be careful.
Visler to Young. Drake has its original starters in here as Van Diest gets it down low against Dienma. Backs into him. Now pushes the pass back out. Visler driving and getting fouled by Rubin, and he missed the layup. Or not a layup, but he threw it up there as he was getting hit hard by Alex Rubin and got it to bounce on the rim a couple of times, but it fell off the wrong way for Drake, and Visler will have to get his points from the line.
You know, Alex a little out of position that time. He was trying to come around the blind side and steal it. Van Diest, if he put it on the floor, and then allowed Visler to be left kind of alone.
First foul on Alex Rubin, first on the Redbirds here in the half, as Visler's free throw in and out, not good, and the Bulldogs continue to struggle a bit from the line. In the first half, they were 4 for 7, now 4 for 8 from the stripe for a 77% free throw shooting team. Another one for Visler, that's good. And it's a 6-point Drake lead at 38-32. 18 and a half minutes to play.
I often think that's a bad sign, Dick, when a team's 4 for 8 and they shoot it at 77%. You know, they're not going to miss many the rest of the night, or won't.
Better not give them many. And that, of course, is one of your keys, as Rubin up top to Lewis. Lewis to the right wing, Phillips. Lloyd down low. Here's Dienma as he bangs with Van Diest. Now back out. Phillips a three. It's good. Lloyd Phillips nails the three. His second basket of the game, and the Birds are within 3 at 38-35. Now Visler up on top to the left of the lane drive, puts on the break, pedals it outside to Templeton. Here's Josh Young on the right side. 20 to shoot now for the Bulldogs. Van Diest fakes the shot. Back to Young. The senior from Oklahoma to Van Diest. Right of the lane against Dienma. Bangs with him. The pass back out. Visler with 7 to shoot. Through the lane, and the whistle and a travel called against Frank Visler, and the Birds get the ball down by just 3.
Yeah, I really like the way Drake's going right at Dienma, obviously, trying to get him to pick up his third foul. The game changes completely when Dienma's off the floor, but Drake is really going right at him and trying to get him in foul trouble with 17 and a half to go here in the second half.
Birds have never led in this game, and actually there have been no ties in this game. The Birds could tie it with a 3 here. Lewis, bad pass knocked by Van Diest. It was intended for Odiakosa, but it's picked off by Drake. And here's Weedle inside, missed the layup. Good rebound by Tony. He flies the other way. Bounce pass, and the layup, no, and the rebound's knocked out of bounds. The officials look at one another. It is Illinois State's ball. A tough pass. Lewis threw it right at the ankles of, now one official overrules the other. It's Drake's ball. I'm not sure that isn't the right call, but the original call was in favor of Illinois State. Drake has it across the timeline. I was about to say a very tough catch for Osiris on that pass from Lewis. Inside Van Diest. Now against Dienma as they continue to go at him. Van Diest has to give it back up. Good play by Odiakosa to play the D and avoid the foul. Now again Van Diest against Dienma. Turns, passes back out. Weedle a 3. It's no good. And the rebound, Dienma kept it alive. Lewis has got it. Ahead to O. And the Birds have an advantage as O goes to the goal. Double teamed as he tries to shoot it, or no, before he shoots it, a foul is called against Drake. And it's on Young, and that's his second, and it's the first against the Bulldogs here in the half as the Redbirds will put it in play. And now Bill Eady in, and Van Diest goes to the bench for the Bulldogs.
They're really coming at Dienma almost in committee. Eady now will bring some different offensive skills, and they'll see if he can kick Dienma in foul trouble.
As Phillips takes the inbounds pass and gets it to Rubin. Now back to Lloyd in the left corner. Still a 3-point Drake lead. Osiris dribbles it, but now has to give it up. Phillips on the left wing. Up top, Lewis. Tony back to Lloyd. 18 to shoot as Lloyd tries to drive. Another foul against the Bulldogs. This one against Weedle. His second. Second on the team. Redbirds will put it in play.
And Illinois State, they need to pass the ball a little bit more crisply around the perimeter and get better passing angles below the top of the key so they can get the ball into Dienma. They seem to be just a half a second late feeding the post.
Simons in for Drake, Weedle out. That makes them quite a bit better. Bigger, excuse me. Now, I don't know about better, but bigger. As a 6'8" guy, Simons replaces the 6-footer Weedle. Phillips across the timeline for the Birds.
Mrs. Weedle probably would have been offended by that last comment, Dave.
Yeah, I don't want him to get wind of that. He'll beat me up. Eldridge off the Phillips in the corner. Rubin a shot fake. High post. Here's Lewis spinning layup. Yes! Nice ball movement and a great take to the goal by Tony Lewis. First within 1, and now Osiris diving to try to get into the passing lane. He did tip the ball. It's out of bounds off of him as he wound up in the lap of one of the Drake assistants. Was great effort again by Osiris, as now an official timeout is called. 15:47 to go in the ball game. The Redbirds as close as they've been since it was 8-6. 4.5 minutes into the game. We're a little more than 4 minutes into the second half now, and they're down just one, 38-37, as we're back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
What's your idea of financial security?
I see myself with my school loans all paid off. Totally. Completely. Then I'll go from there.
Well, probably knowing the roof over my family's head is protected against whatever life brings.
Kids out of the house. Just me and my wife, and time to go to the place where my great-grandparents are from.
When we have enough to say, we'll be okay.
Wherever you're starting from, whatever your personal financial goals, Country Financial can help you balance your need to protect what you have with your desire to build for the future. Your Country Financial representative listens to your own definition of financial security and then helps you create a tangible plan to achieve it. At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
See the Country Financial representative near you or visit countryfinancial.com.
Redbirds have never led in this game. They're down one right now, 38-37, 15 3/4 minutes to go. Our sideline reports brought to you, as always, by Central Illinois Regional Airport. Free parking, low fares close to home. Central Illinois Regional Airport is your easy, low-cost way to fly. Let's go to the Redbird bench where Bruce Evans is stationed.
Well, Dickie, Matty, it doesn't often happen this way, but the entire time in the huddle, first talking offense and how to get it to Dima inside. Different lanes, as Matty was saying. Try to get it crisper around the outside, cross-court passes, and then zip it in there one way or another. And then if it's not open at the very end of the shot clock, then you go for that three-point shot. But first and foremost, let's get it down inside the paint, guys.
Well, you got to like that. Dienma, of course, has been a heavy scorer for the Redbirds in each of the last two games. He's only been able to score one field goal so far in this one.
But you got to feed the post from below the free throw line, Dick, and we're trying to feed it from the top of the key, and that's very, very difficult. And if we, like Bruce said, pick up the passing a little bit, get better passing angles, the ball will go inside. Once Dienma has it, they don't have the physical players to stop him.
Same people for the Birds. These guys have played the entire second half. Odiacosta, Lewis, Rubin, Phillips, Eldridge. For Drake, Young inbounds it to Vissler. The others are Edie, Templeton, and Simons. Here is Vissler on the right wing to Simons, the freshman from Michigan. Good-looking player, guarded by Alex Rubin. Bounce pass to Josh Young. Young gets the screen from Edie. Now Edie falls off the screen as Young deals it back to Simons. 13 to shoot. He pulls up, and a whistle away from the ball. A foul against Dienma Odiacosta. There's his third. Dave Drucker makes the call, and that'll force the Nigerian out of the game. As Drake will put it in play with a fresh 35 seconds. Jackie Carmichael, who started the game but did not start the second half, is now in there in place of Odiacosta. Well, that's a big call. As Vissler will put it in play. Here's the lob, high post to Young, now down low. Turnaround shot. Van Diest came back in, missed the shot from 5 feet, and the rebound Eldridge, and the Birds across the timeline. Here's Austin Hill inside Carmichael, and a whistle, and a foul, again called by Drucker, this time against Van Diest, and so now he has three.
Yeah, but it's not quite a fair trade.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, Dienma means more to the Birds than Van Diest does to the Bulldogs.
You know, and Van Diest is just in there for a freshman playing very physical and trying to get Illinois State's post players in foul trouble, and he's doing a very good job of it.
Birds have put it in play after team foul number 3 against Drake. Still a 1-point Bulldog lead, 5 minutes into the second stanza. Phillips on the left wing. Up top, Lewis. And now on the right side, here's Osiris Eldridge. Inside Carmichael against Van Diest. Shoots it up, misses, but another foul called against Seth Van Diest, who really spun away from that one in anger. He was upset with that call. Part of the reason is it's number 4 against him, and now they have to get him to the bench. Another freshman will replace him, Reese Uhlenhoff, the 6'8", 230-pounder from suburban Des Moines.
You know, Dick, both times on that possession, Lloyd should have dribbled down a little bit. Osiris should have dribbled down a little bit, and the passing lane inside to Carmichael would have been wide open.
Jackie does get to the free throw line, although he misses the first of two. He's a 66%er on the season.
I like Van Diest. 6'10", 223, freshman out of Bettendorf, Iowa. I like the way he plays.
Good shot blocker. He's one of the league's best in that department. As Carmichael will try again to tie the game. He shoots it up and got that one, and we're dead even now, 38 apiece. Drake has been up by as many as 11 in this game. They led by 5 at the half. 14:53 to go as the crowd, a big crowd, it's more than 8,000 here. In fact, it's 8,291. They've just announced it. Bisler all the way to the goal. Now the pass back. Uhlenhoff in the corner. Young, a shot off the dribble. Good. Tough shot by Josh Young from the right wing, 15 feet away. It's 40-38. Drake has the lead back. And the Birds in the front court. Osiris with it, left wing. Eldridge up top to Lewis. And now on the right side, Lloyd Phillips. Up high, here's Lewis with it. Lewis spinning in the lane. Tough shot. Rimming, no. Rebound, Uhlenhoff for Drake. Lewis, a tough contested shot from 8 feet. Rimmed off of there, no good. Templeton up high. Tries to drive on Lewis, can't do it. As Bisler takes over now. He drives into the paint, pushes the pass to the corner. Young up top, open is Weedle. He rolled it, not good. And on the rebound, ball knocked out of bounds by Carmichael. As Uhlenhoff got away with what some fans thought was an over the back there against Jackie. Simons, who just went to the bench, now checks quickly back into the game. Weedle had replaced him. Now it's Bisler out of the game for Drake.
You know, Dick, Drake is just being more physical down low than Illinois State right now.
Young to inbound it, goes to Simons. Jump shot off the inbound pass is good. 16-footer for the freshman, Ben Simons. His first basket. Drake has scored 2 buckets in a row. They're up 4, 42-38. Hill just got in the game. Austin Hill on the left wing. Replaced Rubin. Now Lewis with it. Right wing, Eldridge. Osiris goes baseline, leaves it for Austin. The junior from Covington, Kentucky, sends it to Lewis. Now Phillips on the drive. Can't go anywhere. Brings it back out. Spins the pass to Osiris. 10 to shoot. 0-3. No good. Rebound Weedle. Then Drake the other way. Ryan Weedle right of the lane. A whistle as Lloyd reached in. Got part of the ball. Was he on his arm? Apparently so. The foul is called against Lloyd Phillips. Second on him. It's the third on the team here in the half. It was not on the shot. It'll be inbounded by the Bulldogs.
You know, Dick, watching the body language of Illinois State, Jackie Carmichael's very frustrated. I read his lips that time. He said, I'm open. And, a freshman's got to demand the ball. It's tough to do when you're out there with seniors, but they got to start getting the ball inside to Carmichael.
Uhlenhoff out for Drake. Edey back in. Now a whistle away from the ball. Foul is called. It's against the Birds. Tony Lewis jockeying for position on the inbound pass. First on him, fourth on the team. Each team with 4 fouls now. Drake to inbound it again. Young looks, gets it to Simons, who spins it back out. Weedle an open 3. It's no good, and the rebound Carmichael. Well, he doesn't miss many of that open. Missed 2 in a row here in the recent going. Birds still down 4. Phillips, a bomb is good. Lloyd well outside the arc, but totally uncontested. He drains a 25-footer, and the Birds are within 1, 42-41. Lloyd's second 3 of the game, his third basket overall, as Young tries to get it back and misses the shot from the top, and the rebound for Lloyd Phillips. Phillips into the front court. Birds can get the lead as Lloyd gets it blocked on the layup effort. Templeton with the play. Off the block, Drake gets the ball. Young at the other end. From the right wing against Carmichael. Drives into the paint. Jump stop and a shot. No, but a foul is called against the Redbirds and Jackie Carmichael. And that's 3 on him. Odiakosa already on the bench with 3, and now Illinois State's talented freshman Jackie Carmichael picks up his 3rd. To the line goes Young, fouled this time in the act of shooting. Has 2 coming. As the throw is good. His 11th point pushes the Drake lead to 2 as Simons is out, out of the game. Uhlenhop in. Edie goes out. Who else came in for the Bulldogs? It was Hawley back in. As the free throw short, and the rebound Birds. 2-point deficit for Illinois State as Lewis rebounded that miss. And Young is 2 for 4 from the line. Drake continues to struggle a bit from the stripe. Here's Hill, left wing, baseline drive, now spins out, feeds it up to Lewis, who spins through the lane and draws a foul. And this one is against Weedle, and that's his 3rd. A lot of whistles in this game with 12:09 left to go in the second half. Each team already with 5 fouls here in the half as the Birds will inbound it. And now Kellen Thornton in, and Tony Lewis sits down.
I don't remember Drake being this physical defensively in Des Moines a couple of weeks ago.
I don't think they were. As Young is out of the game now for the Bulldogs. Here's the pass to Lloyd Phillips in the left corner. Visler back in for Drake as Jackie between 2 defenders is fouled by one of them.
Well, our guys seem to be hesitant to throw the ball in there to him.
Pauly commits this one. That's his first. And we get to an official timeout on the 6th-team foul against Drake. Birds will be in the bonus on the next one, and we still have 11:55 left to play. Redbirds trail the Bulldogs 43-41 as we're back with more here at Redbird Arena after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
Buying a new or used car can be nerve-wracking, but Extreme Motors takes the worry of buying a car right out of the equation. Drive Hyundais, Kias, and Nissan, and buy with confidence because Extreme Motors offers lifetime warranties on all new and used vehicles. Extreme Motors, 2029 Ireland Grove Road, and 1608 South Morrissey in Bloomington. Or visit driveextreme.com.
Do you really want it? Do you really want it? Do you really want it? Go Extreme. Extreme is the one. Click, click, click. DriveExtreme.com.
There are 2 kinds of get-togethers, the forgettable kind and the famous kind. What do they serve at the forgettable kind? I forget, but everyone remembers the famous kind because the tables are piled high with piping hot famous days. Right, Dave? Hey, my ribs can make any party famous. Anniversaries, reunions, we can handle any size get-together and customize for any budget. Just go online to famousdays.com
For the best-tasting, most award-winningest barbecue in America.
Redbird Basketball on the WJBC Country Financial Redbird Radio Network is brought to you by Country Financial. What's your idea of financial security?
43-41, Redbirds down 2 here against the Drake Bulldogs as we pause now for stations to identify themselves on the Redbird Radio Network.
The voice of the Redbirds.
Touchdown for the Birds!
12:30.
WJBC.
4-3, got it!
And WJBC.com.
Here's his 3, it is good!
12:30 WJBC and WJBC HD. Bloomington Normal.
Dozen minutes to go in this one. Birds down 2. Let's go to our studio host. What does Zach Parcell have from other Missouri Valley games?
Well, Dick, I have Missouri State leading by 20, 50-30. Missouri State on top of Creighton with 10:53 left to play in the second half. Indiana State leading Wichita State 58-46 with 8:21 left to play in the second half. Finals from earlier was Northern Iowa coming back to defeat Southern 55-52. Bradley over Evansville 83-63, and the ISU women victorious 90-61 over Indiana State. Dick?
As the Birds have put it in play here, looking to tie the game or take the lead with a 3. Lloyd Phillips up on top. Gets it to Kellen Thornton. Eldridge to Phillips in the corner. The others out there are Carmichael and Hill right now for the Birds. Dienma on the bench with 3 fouls. Here's the cross-court pass. Against the zone, Phillips to Hill, 17-footer, yes! From the baseline, and we have our first tie in this game at 43 apiece. On the 4th basket of the game for Austin. Now the crowd starts to get more into it as Visler has it up on top against the Redbird man-to-man. Here's Hawley. Uhlenhop a 3, and it's short on the rebound, Killen. Thornton being held a little bit. Hands down below his shoulders as he caught that rebound. Here's Osiris on the left wing, baseline drive, and he comes back down with it and scores! As he went up, got it blocked, came back down, the jump ball wasn't called, and he put it up and in for the Redbirds' first lead of the game, 45-43. Pauly with it now. to Vissler on the left side. Vissler moves to the top, now spins the pass left wing. Weedle goes to the baseline, underneath the basket, finds a man open outside. Hawley a three, good. And Drake regains the advantage. The Bulldogs up 1, 46-45 on the three-pointer by Aaron Hawley. Birds come back across the timeline. Alex Rubin has checked to the scorer's table for Illinois State. Here's Thornton. Inside, Carmichael, quick shot. No, but he did draw the foul. Uhlenhop and Hawley were both there, and they called it against Reese Uhlenhop. His first, team 7th, but this was in the act of shooting, and so Jackie will get a pair. Dinma Odiakosa also now checks to the scorer's table with those 3 fouls, and 10:20 left to go. Birds down 1 as Carmichael can give Illinois State its first lead as he shoots, or his second lead as he shoots it up and misses. Now the best he can do is tie the game. It's Eldridge who sits down with Rubin's entrance into the game. Dinma will replace Carmichael if Jackie makes this free throw. Drake brings Edey back into the game as the free throw is good. Jackie splits the pair. And now Jackie out, Dinma in. We're tied at 46 with that free throw by Carmichael. As Drake, against full court pressure, double team, throws it away. No! Weedle caught up with it in the corner. Open is Edey. His three is not good. And the rebound, Hill. Edey made a couple of big threes against the Birds in Des Moines, but he missed that wide open shot. And now the Birds can regain the lead. And inside, it's Odiakosa battling for position, and Edey being called for the foul, which will put Dinma at the line. That, against Edey, is number 3. And so Odiakosa, who shot 4 free throws in the first half and made just one of them, is at the line here trying to put the Birds back on top. We're tied at the moment at 46. Odiakosa made 11 of 13 from the line in that loss at Indiana State. He airballed this one very, very short. And so the front end of the 1-and-1 is badly missed, and Drake will inbound it. 9:58 left in this game, or in regulation anyway, as Weedle gets the inbound pass. Phillips applying some full court pressure. The Birds forced a bad pass by Drake the last time, but Drake able to rescue that pass. Here's Young. Down the lane he goes, flips the pass to the corner. Vissler three, no good. Rims out of there. Great rebound by Dinma Odiakosa. Beat Edey to the loose ball. And here's Hill. Austin picks up his dribble. Phillips to Rubin. Inside. Here's Dinma to the goal. Layup. Yes! Redbirds lead 48-46. Second basket of the game for Dinma. Here's Vissler across the timeline for the Bulldogs. To the goal. And a layup. Yes! It rolled on the rim and went through as the Birds lost Vissler. The help defense wasn't there soon enough. He gets a big bucket to retie the game. It's now 48 apiece with 9 minutes to go. Phillips to Rubin. And now up top, Thornton. Kellen to the right wing. Austin Hill now inside. Whistle. And a foul against Bill Edey.
I'll tell you what, Dick, I feel sorry for both teams. You know, both inside players, the big guys on either team, they don't know what's going to be called. And there's been bad calls on the post play all night, both ways. Bill Edey has been called for 2 straight fouls, and he's had his hands straight up in the air. And
I thought Dinma was backing into him. At the time, I was concerned that it might be the 4th on Dinma. Instead, it's the 4th on Edey. So he and Van Diest, each with 4. He's out of the game. Uhlenhop, the freshman from suburban Des Moines, is back in. Meanwhile, Dinma at the line for a 1-and-1, the first of which is rolling good.
And, you know, if you let offensive post players play like that, the defensive post players have no chance. And we're seeing evidence of that both ways.
Well, that's further evidence that you need to get the ball inside.
Oh, absolutely.
Play to these officials. 49-48, Birds by 1. Dinma gets it. 7th point for the big guy, and the Redbird lead is back to 2, 50-48. Birds have had 3 two-point leads here in the recent going. Their only leads of this game. Young, right of the lane, driving shot. It's good. Josh Young with an impressive take to the goal. 13 for him now. He's 1 short of the Drake all-time scoring record as he's tied the game at 50.
And Drake's taking advantage of Demas' 3 fouls. They're taking the ball hard to the goal. They know they don't have to worry about the shot block.
Thornton to Rubin, back to Kellen up on top. He gets it to Phillips, and now inside it goes. Dienma had it knocked away by Uhlenhoff, but Dienma tapped it out to Phillips. Driving shot, yes! Lloyd with a layup, left to the lane drive, and he put it in with the right hand, and the Birds back up by 2, 52-50. Their 4th two-point lead here in the recent going. Here's Visler back to Josh Young. It's Rubin right now on Young. Here's Young into the lane, driving shot, no, but a whistle and a foul. Rubin got some help from Thornton, but one of them fouled him on the miss by Josh Young. It is called against Alex. It's his 2nd, and it gets us to an official timeout. It was on the shot. Josh Young will be on the line with a chance to retie the game when we resume play. 7:53 left here at Redbird Arena. It's a nail-biter between the Birds and Bulldogs. Right now, Illinois State leads it 52-50. Back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
Need a new roof? Want to remodel or need any home improvement project? There's only one name to remember, Nordine. Not Bean, Queen, Green, or Clean, Nordine. Want to update your old bathroom? Remember Nordine. Not caffeine, obscene, trampoline, or 18. Nordine. If your roof needs to be replaced, don't call Christine, Maureen, Kathleen, or Eileen. Call Nordine. If you need new windows, it won't help to think of a tangerine, submarine, Halloween, or your spleen. Think of Nordine. Call 888-4662. That's 888-4662 or NordineRemodeling.com. Nordine does roofs, kitchens, baths, basements, windows, siding, sunrooms, and roofs. So don't go to CaffeineRemodeling.com, not 16Remodeling.com, not MachineRemodeling.com. Go to NordineRemodeling.com or call 888-4662. That's 888-4662. Ask for George.
Hey, sports fans. I always wanted to say that. I'm Todd Weinberner. I'm in the WJBC weekday lineup 9 to 10 every weekday morning. Check me out. I'll say nice things about you, I promise.
Birds 52, Drake 50, just under 8 minutes to play as we head for our Central Illinois Regional Airport sideline microphone. Bruce Evans is by the Redbird bench.
Well, guys, the last few minutes has been the Josh Young show for the Drake Bulldogs. Nothing really fancy. He gets the basketball, gets a pick, goes down the lane, and he can't be stopped so far. The Birds drawing up a couple defenses in the huddle. Not sure exactly what they're going to do, except try to get the ball out of Josh Young's hands. Back to you.
Young is 2 for 4 from the free throw line so far in this game, and the Bulldogs 6 for 11, which is uncharacteristic for them. You mentioned it, Mike. You can't keep sending a great free throw shooting team like Drake to the line and expect them to continue to shoot around 50%.
Yeah, they're 6 for 11. That bodes well for us for the rest of the game, because down the stretch, I doubt if they miss many, but a very good shooting basketball team, a very good free throw shooting basketball team, and I've been impressed with Drake's physical play and how smart they played, especially at the offensive end.
Potentially an historic moment here for the Drake basketball program, as Young is 1 point shy right now of Red Morrell, the all-time leading scorer at Drake, who played for them in the late 50s. So he can tie him with this one as he spins it and shoots it good. And it's a 1-point Redbird lead. Now, with this free throw, Young can become Drake's all-time #1 scorer as he looks for his 15th point of this game. Spins it in his hands and shoots it good, and this game is tied, 52 apiece. Phillips now meets a three-quarter court trap. Rubin still behind the timeline, but now Lloyd brings it across. Austin Hill, the other perimeter player. Osiris still resting. Thornton and Odiakosa, the 2 post players. Thornton up on top to Phillips on the right wing. Now here's Kellen. Left side, Rubin in the corner. Austin Hill, cross-court pass. Phillips, a 3 off the pass. It's not good. Rebound, Dienma out to Hill. He fakes the 3 and deals it up top to Lloyd. Another opportunity here for the Birds to untie this game. Cross-court pass, Kellen, 18-footer short. Rebound, Reese Uhlenhoff for Drake. Line drive shot off the front of the rim. Never got to the cylinder from Kellen Thornton. Now Vissler for the Bulldogs as they look to get their first lead in a while. Into the corner. Here's Weedle on the drive. And against Phillips, he's tied up. Lloyd tied him up. It's the Redbirds' turn. Big play by Phillips. As the Birds will inbound it with 7 minutes exactly to go in the game. And a 52-52 score. The senior from D.C. dribbles it across the timeline. Right wing Hill. Dienma comes out to set a screen. Hill goes to Rubin. Alex against Josh Young. Spins it to the right side. Phillips in the corner. Here's Austin Hill. Up top to Lloyd. Lloyd back to Hill. They can't get it into Odiakosa as they're collapsing in there. Now high post Thornton. Thornton can't get it down low. Here's Phillips in the corner. Rubin a three. It's good! And the Redbirds have their biggest lead of the game. 55-52 on the three by Alex.
Got all 35 seconds out of that shot clock, didn't they?
Here's Young on the drive to the corner. Weedle a three. Blocked by Lloyd. Saved in by Alex off the block. Phillips has it. And the Birds come the other way with a 3-point lead. And now 6 minutes to go. Here's Rubin with it. Right side Lloyd to the goal. A runner. Yes! Redbird lead is 5. 57-52. Phillips and Rubin doing it right now as Vissler's across the timeline, and Drake wants a timeout. And this crowd of more than 8,000 explodes. This will extend to a full timeout with 5:49 left, and the Redbirds enjoying their biggest lead, 57-52. We're back after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
Hello, this is David Smith at Ron Smith Printing. On the 3rd of September 2009, Ron Smith Printing marked its 50th year of serving the graphics and printing needs of Central Illinois. Over the years, we have seen a lot of changes in the products we produce and the way we produce them. One thing that has not changed is the value we place on how our customers are treated. Whether your order is large or small, it gets the same dedicated service to see that it measures up to the expectations you have for the finished product. At Ron Smith Printing, we offer the highest quality full-color brochures, multi-page booklets, business cards, letterheads, and envelopes. We can also provide your company or organization with a full line of promotional products and advertising specialties to keep your business name and website in front of your customers. Call on us today. We're located at 2425 South Main Street in Bloomington.
WJBC, winner of the 2009 Marconi Award as the nation's best small market radio station.
Redbirds have scored the last 5, and they lead 57-52. Still 5:49 left here at Redbird Arena. Let's head to Zach Parcell for the latest on the MVC scoreboard.
So it's getting pretty tight in Wichita, guys. 63-63 game is tied between Indiana State and Wichita State with 3:46 left to play in that one. It's still all Missouri State over Creighton. Missouri State leads 62-43. We'll keep you posted on both. That one is with 3:32 left to play in the game, guys.
All right, let's now go to the Redbird bench, where Bruce Evans has our Central Illinois Regional Airport sideline microphone. Bruce.
Well, guys, a little surprising as far as I'm concerned. Cyrus Eldridge has been out for about the last 3, 4, 5 minutes now after playing the whole second half. I thought he'd be coming in right away. He is not, because this 5 on the floor has been doing an awful good job and have given the Birds the lead. However, the last 2 trips, Drake did not get the ball in the hands of Josh Young. I'll be very surprised if that happens again going down the stretch. Back to you.
Yeah, it is still Kellen Thornton and Dienma Odiakosa with Rubin, Phillips, and Austin Hill. Van Diest is back in the game for Drake with 4 fouls. Templeton out there with Weedle, Vissler, and Young. So it's their starting 5 as the Bulldogs put it in play. And here is Josh Young. It's in his hands now. Rubin guarding him. Young goes to the right, picks up his dribble, and spins it cross-court to Vissler down the lane. A runner blocked by Dienma. Phillips sends the ball off the block by Odiakosa. A big block by the Nigerian as Austin Hill goes to Thornton. Birds up 5 with the ball. Here's the pass into Dienma. Good catch. He goes to work against Van Diest, and now a travel is called against him as he ducked under Van Diest and had a layup, but a walk against Odia Kosa, which reminds us of the folks at Susie Davis Travel. Contact them today to find out more about their exclusive Direct to the Wilderness Princess Cruise tours to Alaska next summer, or visit online at suzidavis.com. Too bad, as Vissler now is across the timeline for Drake, and a reach-in foul on Austin Hill as he tried, after Vissler had beaten him off the dribble, to tap the ball away from behind, but he got him on the arm. And that will put Drake at the line because it's team foul number 7. 1-1 for Vissler, who is a 72% free thrower. Now we see Osiris Eldridgean and Austin Hill out, who just committed his first foul in this game.
Austin's really had a nice game, Dick, off the bench. 9 points, 5 boards, a couple of assists.
Meanwhile, Vissler, the European, the native of Luxembourg, at the line where he's 1 for 2 so far in this game. He gets the free throw, front end of the 1-1. First Drake point in a while. 57-53. The Redbird lead is 4. Another one for Vissler. Big sigh from the young man, and then he rolls it in there for his 10th point. 3-point lead for the Birds, who come across the timeline with just over 5 minutes to play. Phillips with it to Rubin. Up top, Thornton. Back to Alex in the corner. Osiris, guarded by Holly, out of that zone. Dribbles it up high to Thornton. And now Phillips with it. Here's Rubin. Loud, good one. Odiakosa double team, goes up and scores anyway. Great play by Dienma. His 3rd basket. Birds back up by 5. 59-54. Drake hustles into the front court. Here's Josh Young.
Boy, and Alex Rubin is not afraid to feed the post. Very, very good at that.
And a courageous pass over the defense. The help defense was there, but Dienma still scored the goal. Now Vissler gets it, and as he does, a whistle and a foul against Kellen Thornton away from the ball, pushing on Templeton, who will get to the line.
I'll tell you what, Dick, the officiating tonight has not been as good as we've seen the last 3 or 4 games. Very inconsistent, and the kids are really struggling to understand what they're going to call.
Now it's Tony Lewis in for Kellen Thornton, who's just committed his first foul. It's the 8th on the team, so it's a 1-1 here for Templeton, who so far in this game is 3 out of 4 from the line. A good free thrower normally at 78%. 4.5 minutes exactly now to play, and the Birds by 5 as Templeton's throw is good. And the Bulldogs doing a little better from the line here in the recent going after a slow start. Lead down to 4. The senior from Rapid City, South Dakota, can cut it to 3, and he rolls it all over the rim and got it through there. Short, just barely crawled over the front of the rim, then bounced a couple more times on the iron and went through, and it's a 3-point game again at 59-56. Birds on top with the ball. Phillips to Lewis. Now Rubin back to Tony. Against the zone, they pass on the perimeter. Up top, Tony Lewis. Bill Eady in the game now, guarding Dienma. The pass comes into him. Here's Dienma turning into a defender, and a whistle and a foul against the defender into whom he turned, or else it's on Eady. No, it's on Hawley. Second on him. Well, those curious calls are going both ways anyway.
Oh, they really are, and that's what I'm talking about. The inconsistency of the inside is just really making it tough on the kids defensively and offensively. They don't know what to expect.
10th team foul against Drake, so 2 here for Dienma, who has his team up by 3 and missed that one. It rattled in and out. One more opportunity to build the margin to 4, as Odiakosa will look for his 10th point. Meanwhile, Hawley and Eady both go out, and Van Diest is back in with those 4 fouls. Another one coming for the senior from Nigeria. Got that one. 60-56. Birds by 4 with 4 minutes left to play as Young is into the front court for the Bulldogs. Against Rubin, driving, whistle, and before the shot, which was good, a foul is called, a blocking foul against Alex Rubin, which will get Young to the line. Doesn't take much to produce the whistle. As there we hear the horn, which indicates to us that we're due an official timeout. With 3:54 to go in the game, Birds lead by 4, 60-56, but Young can cut that lead in half from the free throw line when we return after this on the Redbird Radio Network.
Ever heard of post-holiday trauma? It's when the new year hits, and so do the credit card bills. Ouch. On top of it all, no more presents. Unless you contact Prairieland Federal Credit Union. We'll transfer those high-interest rate credit cards to a low-rate Visa that saves you money every month. We'll even give you 1% cash back when we do. Same goes for vehicle loans. Finance or refinance your vehicle with a great low rate from Prairieland, and we'll give you 1% cash back. Finance $20,000, get $200 cash, plus a lower payment every month. It's like Christmas all over again. Learn more by visiting Prairieland Federal Credit Union on Case Drive in Normal or online at notyournormalbank.com. Certain restrictions may apply. NCUA insured, membership eligibility required. More details at notyournormalbank.com.
McLean County's voice for news, sports, weather, talk, and all things local.
1230 WJBC and WJBC.com.
Quick scoreboard update. Wichita State leading Indiana State now 72-67 with 1:11 left to play. Missouri State leading Creighton 67-49 with 1:25 left. We'll keep an eye on both of those, and we will update you during Redbird Review. But now back out for the exciting end of this one. And Dick Lutke and Mike Matthews.
60-56 in favor of Illinois State here with 3:54 left to go. Josh Young about to shoot a 1-and-1.
Dick, I'm interested in that Creighton score at Missouri State. I wonder if P. Allen Stinnett is back playing with Creighton.
Well, they aren't playing very well.
Well, they need his offense, and you kind of wonder if he's going to be back.
Well, we're told he is not in that ball game.
And I wonder if he'll ever return.
Yeah, that's a good question. We'll be in Omaha a week from today. The next game at Bradley on Tuesday night, and then after that it's at Creighton. And then the Redbirds play 2 of their final 3 Valley games at home and also have the Bracket Buster game against Moorhead State at home. So 3 of the final 4 regular season games at home, actually 3 in a row, and then the trip to Northern Iowa for the regular season finale. But our focus right now is on this one, and what a game it's been. Close all the way as Josh Young is at the line. First 1-and-1, not good, and the rebound chased down by Osiris, who saves it into Rubin. How about that? Young missed it very short, and the Redbirds still have their 4-point lead and now have the ball. Rubin with it up top to Phillips on the left side. Lloyd against Josh Young, pedals it to Eldridge. High post Lewis looks into Dienma, instead dribbles it to the corner and then throws a weary pass, but it's recovered by Phillips. Spurs lucky to still have it. 9 to shoot. Lloyd in the lane, fading 13-footer, rolls. Good! Lloyd Phillips with a big bucket. He has a dozen points, and the Redbirds have their biggest lead of a half dozen. 62-56. Here's Vissler for Drake up on top. Right wing Templeton. Now back to Vissler. On the left side, here's Weedle. Hedged by Dienma, forced to give the ball up with 19 to shoot, and now 3 minutes left in the game. Josh Young through traffic, lost it, out of bounds, off of who? It's off of Osiris, they say. Still belongs to Drake, 13 to shoot for the Bulldogs with 2:55 left in the game, and the Birds up now 62-56. And now a quick change. Van Diest had gone to the bench during the timeout. He replaces Uhlenhop. Van Diest with 4 fouls in here in an offensive situation as Vissler looks it over and finds Young. Quick shot. No. Yes, he got it. Foul called on Alex Rubin. Count the goal. Oh, my. As Young, curling past a screen, took the pass and shot it at the same time. It rolled on the neck of the ring. Looked like it would go off, but went down. And it's back to a 4-point difference, and Young can make it a 3-point game from the line as Rubin picks up his 4th foul. Young, who has become Drake's all-time leading scorer in this game, now has 17 and looks for his 18th here with 2:54 to go as he shoots it good. So the Redbirds with a 3-point lead come the other way. Here's Phillips. Right side, Rubin. Alex to Osiris Eldridge, who holds it. Right side of the lane, a runner, no, but a foul is called, and will get himself to the line. This one is against Josh Young, and that's 3 on him.
You got no chance if you're trying to guard a guy who's taking the ball to the goal. There's going to be a whistle every time. I thought Josh had pretty good position there. I didn't see the call against Alex at the other end.
Well, and that, Mike, inspires people to take it to the goal.
Oh, absolutely.
Just fuels the fire even more. As Eldridge shoots the first of 2, Birds are in the double bonus. He makes the free throw. Osiris' first attempt from the line in the game. He has 11 points for the game now. And the Redbird lead is up to 4. Hawley goes out. And Vissler back in for Drake. Osiris, an 84%er this year from the line, an excellent free thrower. Shoots the next free throw up and good.
And Dick, those are the Schooners' hot points. The 2 free throws by Osiris Eldridge, giving us a 64-59 advantage.
With 2.5 minutes to play as Drake is across the line. Here's Young coming out to meet the pass. Osiris asking for a travel call. Van Diest, a 15-footer, rolls not good. Rebound. Templeton goes up and scores. Birds couldn't get the defensive rebound. Templeton, with his 3rd basket, cuts the lead back to 3. 64-61, now 2:10 left to go. Rubin in the front court for the Redbirds. A screen from Lewis as he dribbles up to the top and sets up Osiris on the right side. Moves to the edge of the circle, picks up his dribble, finds Lloyd Phillips. 15 to shoot. Here's Rubin. Up high, Phillips. Osiris. Baseline drive and a tough shot. Good! A whistle. And what's the call? Will it be a charge or a block? No basket. They've called the charge against Osiris Eldridge.
You've got to be kidding me.
Okay. That's the call. He stepped out of bounds. Not a charging foul. No foul, but no basket either, as Josh Young has it in the front court for the Bulldogs, and now a timeout called by Mark Phelps with 1:42 to go in this ball game, and the Redbirds clinging to a 3-point lead. This a 30-second timeout, and is brought to you by Parkway Auto Laundry. Take a 10-minute timeout and have your vehicle cleaned at Parkway Auto Laundry. Let's pause now for stations to identify themselves on the Redbird Radio Network.
News, sports, weather, talk, and all things local.
This is your voice for the Redbirds.
1230 WJBC and WJBC.com. 1230 WJBC and WJBC HD, Bloomington Normal.
Birds 64, Drake 61, 1:42 left as the Redbirds trying to close this one out, but Drake has the ball after Osiris Eldridge driving to the goal, stepped on the end line. There was heavy contact as he shot it in, but before that, apparently, he stepped on the end line, and so Drake has the ball down by just 3. Vissler has it in play.
I'm sure glad Bruce confirmed that, because if that had been a charge call, I was about ready to head to the car.
Young on the left wing. Moves up to the top with the dribble, spins it back. Open 3. Templeton got it. We're tied. Adam Templeton, a great three-point shooter. In fact, the best percentage three-point shooter in the league, ties the score with 1:17 to go. Lloyd Phillips is across the timeline. Lewis with it. Right wing Osiris. Up top, Tony Lewis. And now the left side, Phillips. Lewis again at the top. Here's Tony. To the right side, Eldridge. Inside, a foul against Van Diest, who knocked it away from Dienma, who will get to the line with 1:01 to go. He'll shoot 2 as the Birds are in the double bonus. Meanwhile, Van Diest is out of the game. That's his 5th foul.
And that's really a good foul, I think, if you're a Drake fan. Van Diest leaves the game, but they're going to get the ball with either the game tied or 1 or a 2-point Illinois State lead. I think it was a good foul by Van Diest.
Dienma from the line in this ball game missed 3 of 4 in the first half, but here in the second half he's made 4 out of 6. And these perhaps the 2 most pressure-packed free throws that Dienma has shot as an Illinois State Redbird, with His team tied here against Drake, 64-64, 1 minute and 1 second to play. The senior from Akwaku, Nigeria, looked for his 11th point of this game as he has handed the ball, and a hush falls here over Redbird Arena. Bounces it several times and shoots it. No good. A little bit long and to the right. One more opportunity for Odiakosa to give the Redbirds the lead. Both teams now are in the double bonus. Another one coming, and it is good, and the Redbirds lead by that free throw, 65-64, and now dig in to play some defense. As Josh Young comes across the timeline, Drake's all-time leading scorer, drives to the left, fires a three, it's good, and Drake leads by 2. Young nails the jump shot from left of center. He got a little screen, gave himself some space, and hit about a 24-footer, and the Birds are down for the first time in quite a while. We have 39 seconds to play. Lewis to Rubin, up to Tony Lewis. Right side, here's Phillips. Now a half minute to play, 15 to shoot. Here's Alex Rubin driving inside. Leaves it for Lloyd. A long one is good! Phillips with 23 seconds to go gives the Redbirds a 1-point lead, and the Birds call for a timeout. A courageous shot by Lloyd Phillips, who has given the Birds the lead, but the Bulldogs still have the ball, and there's 22.8 seconds left to play. Boy, the three by Young was outside the arc like he was open, but a gutsy shot on his part, and the same thing here at the other end by Lloyd Phillips.
Yeah, the only difference was he really did a nice job of squaring up at this end to Josh Young, and I really thought Lloyd was a little off balance and a little cockeyed when he put it up, but boy, nothing but the bottom of the net. Now the officials are looking at the clock or the replay to see if the right amount of time is on the clock, but it'll be interesting to see how the last 23 seconds of this game are played. You know Drake's going to take the ball to the goal and put the pressure on the officials, and then Illinois State's going to do the same thing at the other end.
Well, and I was surprised, Mike, that they didn't do that their last time down the floor. Young, he was open, but again, he was pretty well outside the arc. I thought about a 24-footer or so, and instead of taking it to the goal, which has been very productive for them here in the recent going, they shot the three.
Well, I just hope the game is decided by the 10 kids playing and not by the 3 guys officiating.
2 of those guys in the stripes looking at the monitor right now. And again, we believe that it's simply to check the time left on the clock. Bruce Evans has been over to check that out. Bruce, that is what they're looking at?
Well, I didn't hear what you said, but I'll tell you what they're looking at is they're looking at the clock. Make sure that they have the right time on there. Certainly no question about the three-point shot. It was well beyond the arc. So just trying to figure out if there's 1 or 2 more tenths of a second that should go on the clock, Dick.
The scoreboard clock right now says 22.8 seconds to go. All sorts of time, obviously, for Drake to run its offense and get the shot that it wants, which could win this game for the Bulldogs.
I just got kind of a hunch, Dick, or a hankering that Osiris is going to get his hands on the ball at the defensive end somehow.
Well, that'd be good. Birds come out with the same 5, Lewis, Odiakosa, Rubin, Eldridge, and Phillips. And for the Bulldogs, as they put an extra second on the clock, Uhlenhoff, Visler, Templeton, Young, and Weedle are in there for the Bulldogs. They're going to put 23.8 seconds on the clock instead of 22.8, so they found an extra second. 22.8 is plenty of time. Drake. Well, no, now they say 23.3, and that's what the clock says. I was about to say that Drake has certainly the time it needs to run its offense and find a shot, but you might as well get it right, and they have. And so here come the Bulldogs across the timeline as the crowd heats up, asking for a defensive stop. Birds lead by 1 as Young left of the lane drive. A shot. No! Rebound Osiris. Eldridge comes out of there and he's fouled with 9 seconds to go. Well, Mike O did get his hand on the ball, but not until the missed scoop layup opportunity by Josh Young.
Well, I sure hope he knocks in both of these free throws, because I can handle overtime. I can't handle Drake coming down with a chance to win on a three-point goal with all the good shooters they have. Now, Osiris is going to get 2 shots. They are in the double bonus, but he needs to make both of these free throws before I can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, it is a 1-point lead, and so if he gets them both, Drake has to hit a 3 in the final 9 seconds to send it to overtime. If he doesn't, of course, Drake would have an opportunity, assuming they rebound a missed free throw by O, to still win this game in regulation. The foul was on Josh Young. It is his 4th. They've already lost Seth Van Diest to fouls. The Redbirds have Alex Rubin with 4, but nobody else with more than 3. So if it does go overtime, that might favor the Redbirds.
Illinois State making a couple of substitutions coming out of this timeout. Boy, big free throws for Osiris.
They're looking at the clock again to make sure that there should be only 9.1 seconds left, and that indeed is not the case. They've put 2.4 more on the clock, so it's 11.5 for Drake. Lots of time for the Bulldogs, even if Osiris makes both of these free throws. Mentioned it earlier, O is an 84% free thrower. He made 2 earlier in the waning moments of this game. 2 very critical free throws that put the Redbirds at that point up by 1. Now a timeout called by Drake. I think they're looking here to ice Osiris.
Well, I think they were also checking to see who was going to be in the game for Illinois State coming out of the timeout, so they could adjust their offense appropriately and get the ball into the hands of the player they want.
This 30-second timeout brought to you by O'Brien Mitsubishi. Visit today at Fort Jesse Road and Veterans Parkway in Normal, or at O'BrienTeamNormal.com. Redbirds have trailed most of this game. They were down by as many as 11 in the first half, trailed by 5 at the half, but took the lead for the first time about halfway through the second half. And they have led most of the way since then, although Drake had a 1-point lead not long ago on that 3 by Josh Young. Now it's the Redbirds by 1, 68-67, and Osiris Eldridge on the line for 2 with 11.5 seconds to play.
Dick, if you lose the game, Illinois State-wise, you're going to look at the free throw line. Illinois State's only 14 of 24, but all of that will be forgotten if Osiris can bang both of these ends.
He hit 2 earlier, and he has the ball now, and the senior from Chicago is at the stripe and prepares for the first of 2 as he shoots it up and missed it. It was short, hit the front of the rim, then off the glass, and it's not good. And so O has one more chance here to build the Redbird lead to 2. But that means Drake could win it with a 3 or send it to overtime with a 2-pointer. O with the second one, it's on the way, and it's right through the middle. And so the lead now is 69-67. The Redbirds spend a 30-second timeout. It's brought to you by Parkway Auto Laundry. Take a 10-minute timeout and have your vehicle cleaned at Parkway Auto Laundry. Well, how do the Bulldogs look at this, Mike? They can win it with a 3, tie it with a 2. Of course, you take the shot that's available. I understand that, but would they rather take the 3 or the 2 here?
We were always told when I was growing up, Dick, on the road you play for the win, at home you play for the tie.
And maybe making that even make a little more sense is the fact that they're in the kind of foul trouble they're in.
Absolutely. And if I was in the Drake coaching staff, I'd be going for the 3 right here.
If it's there. But if you've got a layup, you better take that. 11.5 seconds left, so again, lots of time for Drake to run its offense and find a shot.
I can't argue with that, Dick.
What's the layup if it's there?
Yeah, layup versus the 3, I think you got a good point there.
Austin Hill has replaced Tony Lewis, so the Birds with a smaller lineup here as the ball is inbounded to Young, and he's going to be guarded by Osiris. Young across the timeline, 6 to play. Now help from Dienma. Young dribbling inside, a runner, no, but he's fouled by Odi Acosta and will go to the line with 0.8 of a second to go.
I like that much better than giving him the 3.
So the best he could do is tie the game and send it to an extra period. That is, unfortunately, Dienma's 4th foul. So he becomes the second Redbird to pick up a fourth, and that'll be a factor if this game does go to the extra period.
Good foul. I'd rather give him or send him to the line for 2 15-footers than give him a layup. And he's missed a couple free throws tonight.
He has. Normally a great free thrower. Actually, he's missed 3. He's 5 for 8 from the line.
I wonder if Illinois State will take a timeout and maybe ice him a little bit.
Looks like he's going to get to shoot the first one before that happens as he tries to put his team within 1. He shoots it and gets it, and now he can tie it with the next one. 0.8 of a second to go. If he misses it, Drake could tip it in for the win. So the Birds have to make sure that doesn't happen if he does miss. Young with his head down, looking at the floor, and now Tim Jankovic wants that timeout you called for, as he'll allow Josh Young to think a little more about the significance of this free throw, as Young scores his 22nd point to put his team within 1 with 0.8 of 1 second left.
And I remember in the second half, after a timeout, Josh Young came out, remember, and that was the free throw that he put up so painfully short. So maybe Tim Jankovic had that in the back of his mind. Why not? We got the timeouts. Let's try to ice the kid. He's a senior. He's an all-conference player, but what the heck?
Now, Tim would also be talking to his team here about what to try if Young makes the free throw. Still 0.8 of a second left, and so you throw it down to the length of the floor. I think that's their last time out, so they don't have any more time to talk about this. You could get a shot away in 0.8 of a second.
Not a good one.
No, but any shot is better than nothing. The game is tied in the final second.
I just hope it's the guys in the white uniform that get the last shot, not the guys in the blue. A missed free throw here has to be rebounded.
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier for them to tip in the miss than it is for the Birds to inbound it after he makes the free throw and gets the field goal in the final 0.8 of a second.
Make or miss here, Dick. What do you call him?
Hopefully he misses. I'll take my chances on the possibility of a tip in. The inside position, Tony Lewis back in the game now, has one of those inside positions on the lane. Dean Odiakosa has the other ones. The officials are looking at the tape again, so this
further ices the young man.
If indeed that works, and I'm not convinced it does, but if indeed that does work, the Redbirds are getting a little bit more of a break here as the officials try to determine how much time should be on the clock.
I do not agree with this from the official standpoint. Josh Young is now walking around while these two guys are over there trying to decide is it 0.8, 0.9, or 0.7. I do not think that's quality officiating. Well, now they're going to talk about it a little bit more and maybe have a cup of coffee and decide it while Josh gets iced.
Well, that's probably in the Redbirds' favor. If Drake is going to tip it in, they probably get that done in 0.8 of a second anyway if they tip in a Josh Young miss. So the Birds would have 1.1 to try to get something away if Young does make this free throw and tie the game.
Illinois State, I think, has one timeout left, Vic. Wouldn't it be great to call it right now?
Young has the ball. Spins it in his hands and shoots it, and it's no good! It's no good! The Redbirds win the game as Osiris rebounds the miss by Josh Young, and the Birds